Hey everyone, it's Glenn with AZClickyBrix. Welcome to Vlog 7. And today's vlog we're going to talk about some of the questions that were asked on my prior vlog from my Vlog 6. That was the one where I did my July recap and talked about a lot of the numbers that were going on with AZClickyBrix for that month of July. So some of the questions that were asked were about the acronyms that I used in the reporting, like ASP and PPM, so we're going to go over that. To get a little bit deeper understanding of what those are. We're also going to go over the light that I had mentioned. So I know that I had mentioned a light that I had purchased. Actually, my daughter bought it for me to help with the color differentiation. It's a lot easier, I had found, to differentiate between similar colors such as light bluish gray and light gray, or reddish brown and brown. So I'm going to do a little show and tell on that per request that I got. And talk about the aging. So there was a question that came up about the aging and the two pieces in my inventory that are the oldest. So put a little bit more color on that, if you will. But before we get started, I want to say a special thank you to Ralph over at Ralph's Bricks. He watched my vlog, and at the moment when he watched my vlog, I had 7 subscribers on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is really fairly new. I just started it at the beginning of July, so it's like 6 weeks old at this point, maybe even less when he watched the video. So he watched it, and he actually made a comment in one of his videos, and he's got a fair number of subscribers and people that tune into his channel. And that day, within 20 minutes, my subscriber count just started increasing and climbing and climbing and climbing and kept going. Regardless, Ralph and I touched base later on that day, and I told him thank you over video chat that we were having, but I also wanted to tell him thank you again. If it weren't for you, man, my subscribers wouldn't have jumped from 7 to, I think, 58 is where I saw it, 56 the last time I looked at it. So that's really great. And to everybody out there that had subscribed, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So without further ado, one more thing. Ralph did mention in his vlog that he watched my report out, and it was quite long, which it was like 55 minutes.
I actually watched this around. I skimmed through it. It's 55 minutes. It's a little long, but he's got a lot of great data in his stored recap.
So Ralph, I promise for you, I'm going to keep this one under 55 minutes. All right, let's get started. Okay folks, we're going to start with the light that I had mentioned, and I've got a couple samples here. We've got your standard brown, reddish brown, light gray, and light bluish gray. When I stand here and focus on them intently, you can definitely see the difference between the 4 of them. But as I'm moving through and I'm sorting and cataloging, then sometimes they can get mixed together. They look similar. It's really easy when they're together to tell the difference, but I found using this light here that my daughter got me, it's just your standard light from Amazon, magnifier with a light underneath, an LED light. Now this light's got 3 different settings. It's got 5,000, which is what you see now. It's got a 3,000, which is a little bit softer, more of an amber, and then soft white 4,000 K on the spectrum. So I'm going to start out on the 3000. So looking at your standard 3000, I'm going to set my phone down here so we can check this out. So it's a little kind of hard to tell, not really at this point, but you can definitely see the difference between these two. But your brown and reddish browns, it's a little bit more difficult. Now as I cycle through the frequencies, you can start to see a little bit better difference. So here is the 3000. You can see there's a little bit easier to tell the reddish brown and the browns, and the light gray and the light bluish gray became a little bit harder. But when I go to the 5000, I notice the 5000, I'm really able to see the difference, especially in the light bluish gray and the light grays. Your browns and your reddish browns, they definitely tend to stand out more. This is, maybe it's just my eyeballs, but I have found that this setting has really helped me out when sorting colors, to not put a light gray in with light bluish gray, or put a brown in with reddish brown, vice versa. Your pinks and your dark pinks, things like that. not bright pink. That's really easy to tell. But yeah, so that's the light I use. Just wanted to put that out there and give a quick small demonstration. Yeah, so it works for me. It helps me a lot. I have made less mistakes using this light, so I just want to make sure that that's out there. All right, everyone, I am sure that was super exciting. So that is the light that I use. You can pick it up from Amazon. It's fairly cheap. It has helped me out a lot, and I actually probably plan on buying another one to put somewhere else here in the store to help me out when I'm picking, just to double check. Another one maybe on the other side of this table for when I'm putting things away. I love this light, and it has definitely helped me out a lot. So let's talk about some of the acronyms that I used in my report out. So one acronym that I used was ASP. Now, ASP stands for average sale price. So what that is basically just your average sale price. I mean, it is what it sounds like, and that's just a culmination of your total revenue. I shouldn't say total revenue, but a culmination of all of your sales, total sales. You know, that's everything, tax, everything that the customer's paid, divided by the number of orders you received. So that gives you your average sale price. So when I say ASP, that is what I'm referring to. Another metric that was had a question around it was KPI. Now, KPI is a key performance indicator. It's used globally to help measure the performance of a process, of a business, of a function. It's just an indicator on how a certain aspect of a business or a process or something is doing. So it's a key performance indicator. Most often you're going to have more than one. It's like looking at the dashboard on your car. You've got a number of different gauges on there that help you get a good understanding at that snapshot in time of how your car is doing. You know, you've got your tachometer, your odometer, your speedometer, you've got your lights that tell you if your tire pressure is low, your fuel gauge, a number of different things in there that tell you the health of your car at that moment. So it's very similar to that, but more designed for processes and things like that. So I hope that helps. If it doesn't, let me know, and I'll shoot you over a couple links to some interesting articles on it. Another one that was asked about was ppm. So ppm stands for parts per million, and it's a quality metric used in manufacturing or services where you need to measure the quality of something, whether it's a particular item that you're manufacturing or providing. In this instance, it's a Lego part, and what it is it's a measurement of how many defects can you expect to have out of 1 million parts. So years and years ago, decades ago actually, a good ppm, a parts per million score for a global organization would have been around 10,000 or 1%. So if you had 1% of your product was defective, you were actually considered pretty good manufacturer. Since businesses became more ingrained in quality and decided to really start to focus on that when they understood the importance of quality, then all of a sudden that standard got lowered to 1,000. So if you had a score of 1,000 or below 1,000, you were considered a fantastic manufacturer or supplier, in this case, of a Bricklink seller, being a supplier to the customers. And I think it's really starting to tighten up a little bit. You know, I've seen a few things where, you know, there are organizations that are at, you know, around 75, which is just, it blows my mind that, you know, you can only expect to have 75 defects out of 1 million of whatever it is you're doing, whether it's an event that you do as a service provider or as a product that you provide to your customers. So that's what ppm stands for. That's why it's a quality metric. I value it. That's why I use it. I measure everything, you know, when it comes to, you know, businesses that I've worked for, organizations I've worked for, or with my store here. You know, I use that metric to help me gauge where I'm at on providing either good service or good product to my customers. So that's where ppm comes from. And I think those were all the acronyms that I had questions concerning. If there's any others out there that you want to get a definition for, please reach out to me. Let me know in the comments, and I will definitely get an answer over to you. So something else that I want to talk about real quick, probably the last thing for this vlog, is inventory aging. Somebody commented on the inventory aging metric that I measure my inventory with. It's not really a metric. It's just more of a gauge on the health of my inventory. You know, how old is it? And I believe if I interpreted the question correctly, they were wondering if the two pieces that I currently have in my inventory that I consider the oldest are actually the oldest. That I don't know. Now, I could go back and look at all of my uploads, at least as far back as I retained records, and see if I had added and sold any of those at different times. But the way BrickLink works is if you have an existing lot, and let's say you've got a lot of one piece, in this case it'll be an orange 1x4 panel rounded corners. That's one of the parts I have. So if I had loaded one of those in October 1st of 2020, and let's say that in December I added 3 more, so I've got a total of 4 in my inventory now, and then I sell 3 of them in March of 2021, which leaves me 1 left. The way BrickLink works is it's going to show that lot still with that original load date. So it's really hard to determine if that actual piece is my oldest piece in the inventory, but when I look at these, it's not really about the piece, it's about the lot. So when I added this lot, it was back in October, October 1st of 2020. Since then, regardless if I've added and sold pieces out of that lot, it's still considered one of my oldest lots. And maybe it's got a lot of movement in it. Like I said, I could go dive deeper into that and see if a 1x4 orange plate with rounded corners is something that I am loading all the time and selling all the time. Then it would be, I would have to then start looking at sort of inventory turns at a part level, which that's a sophistication that I am not set up for yet. Definitely something that I've thought about, but right now I think just looking at the aging of my lots is helping me with a pretty good understanding of at least where my oldest lot is. I mean, it's just telling me that that particular item I haven't sold out of, where somebody's cleaned my drawers out. They haven't cleaned me out of that part yet, to where I'd have to recreate a new lot when I load it again. So that's sort of the background on the aging. I hope that helps. And if anybody out there has any other questions about this, let me know. I'd be more than happy to answer these for you. And that's really the whole point I did these vlogs, is to actually kind of help the BrickLink seller, Brick Owl seller community with an understanding of at least what I'm going through with my store, how I approach things. And I'm definitely going to be doing some how-to videos. That's one of the things that I want to start doing, at least better than the ones I did in the past. I did a couple few weeks ago, but I watched them again. I'm like, those are pretty hokey. So I know I could do a better one than that, and I plan on it. So I think that's it. Oh, one other thing is I was asked about my definition on what I consider good Lego and bad Lego. So good Lego is relatively easy for me to answer. Good Lego is something that I would personally build with. When I'm going through and I'm doing my bulk sort, where I have this big bulk of used Lego, and I go through it, the first thing I'm looking for is if it's good Lego or bad Lego. Now, when I say bad Lego, I'm talking about, you know, is it chewed up? I mean, I've come across pieces where it's hard to even recognize what the piece is. It looks like a piece of chewed up bubble gum. At first I thought it was, but it wasn't. It was Lego that was just chewed to unrecognizable state. So one, looking at if it's chewed up, even if it's just got a couple teeth marks on it, like on the edges, on the corners. I mean, if it's kind of gouged up and I catch it, I throw it down in my my not good Lego bin. I also look to see if it's an imitator to Lego, you know, like the Mega Blocks and things like that. And if you know, we can't sell Mega Blocks, so those actually go in the trash can. Just want those out of circulation as far as I'm concerned, because if I end up reselling them back onto the street, like through OfferUp or eBay or something, and they get mixed in again, it's just creating a headache for me. It creates a headache for other future users BrickLink sellers out there that may run across this. So just going to get it off the street. No offense to Mega Bloks or anything. They got some pretty cool sets, you know, the Halo stuff, but I just don't want it in my inventory. Just want it out of circulation, so I throw them away. Hate me or love me for that. So yeah, that's really the extent of this vlog. I just wanted to take some time, give Ralph a thank you, as well as answer some questions that were posed to me about my latest vlog. So Ralph, I hope I kept this under 55 minutes for you, my friend, and other than that, we'll see you on a future vlog. Take it easy. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and this answered some questions you might have had. Please give it a like if you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, comments, or editorial remarks, leave them in the comments section below. I'll get back to you right away. And if you're not already a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. Become a subscriber. Thanks again, and we'll see you on a future vlog.